So the next thing you want to do is install WordPress. So use the one-click software provided by your web host. So if you've gone with HostGator or you've gone with Bluehost, they have a one-click setup. If you are using HostGator, they have quick install. It used to be known as Fantastico within HostGator, and that is actually being slowly phased out, and it's now becoming quick install. So that's something to keep in mind and to take note of. If you are hosting on HostGator currently and you go into the cPanel, you're looking for something called quick install now and not Fantastico. If you are in Bluehost, Simple Scripts is a popular one that's used. Some other web hosting companies may use Simple Scripts as well. Both of these tools, what they do is you actually just log in there. When you're ready to set up and install WordPress, it's just a simple one-click template system. It's very easy to go through, and they make life super easy for you, and we'll guide you through that step. There's more than just one click, but they like to call it kind of one-click install, so you're not having to actually manually upload files. The managed WordPress hosting solutions like WP Engine and GoDaddy, they have other solutions for you as well. Another option for installing your WordPress site is to do the manual install. This is using the famous 5-minute installation that WordPress has become famous for. You could follow the instructions given by WordPress, and I'll show you exactly where those are so you know where they are, where the most up-to-date instructions are accessible to. You could literally have your site up and running in 5 minutes or less. In fact, if you follow through this tutorial, you could have your blog up within 10-15 minutes, and literally it's something you could do in a weekend and have your website up and running with your first content and starting to get things going in the right direction. Some people prefer a manual install for security reasons. So there's some people that say using tools like Quick Install, Fantastico, when it used to be there, Simple Scripts, they say that it opens up your site to certain vulnerabilities. And that's something that, if you are worried about, you might want to consider doing the manual 5-minute install. And that way it kind of closes up all those loopholes if you do it yourself. So here's the process for doing the one-click install, or using the quick installation method. So you log into your HostGator cPanel or your Bluehost account, and if you're in Bluehost, you'll use something called Simple Scripts, but it's almost identical to what I'm going to show you. And you're just going to click on Quick Install. Again, you're no longer clicking on Fantastico Deluxe. Once you click on that, it's going to bring up a window that looks like what you see on the right-hand side there. You're going to go on the left-hand side. It's going to list all the different software applications that you can install. There is a pile of different software applications that you can install, including like a web calendar, just all kinds of cool tools like a billing software, analytics software. So lots of cool programs that you could actually install and set up. So what you're going to do is just simply go and click on WordPress, and then it's going to bring up WordPress on the right-hand side. You'll just click on Continue. Next thing you want to do is install your WordPress. So you're going to choose to actually install which domain. So you use a drop down menu. If you have multiple domain names inside your hosting account, which if you're brand new, then you won't have this. But if you do have multiple domains, you're just going to choose the exact domain that you want. Now, if you already have your main domain already being used, like you have a sales page on it or some other piece of content like a landing page on your main URL, then what you would do is you would want to install this blog in the directory. So where that blank window is right after the /, which I'll point it out to right here, right in this section right here, you could just call that /blog and just write in the phrase blog right there. Then you put in the admin email, your email. Then you put in the blog title for now. You don't have to get real technical in this part. You can do that later on. And then just put in your admin and then your first name and your last name and click Install Now. Once you do that, it's going to actually pull up this window, which will show 74% done. And then you come over here, it says, congratulations, your installation is ready. So literally it's all done in one screen. So it kind of is one click, because once you click on there, you just have to hit one click for install, and it quickly is going to go to 74%, then up to 100%. It'll show you the progress there. It doesn't take very long at all. And then what you do is you'll be welcomed with, here's your URL with your admin panel. So that's how you're going to log in. Your username, and then your password, they're going to give that to you here as well. So you could just plug that in and start moving forward. The next thing you want to see, once you log in, once you actually follow the steps here. So if we go back over here and we go in and we're ready to log in. So I'm just going to click on that button. Again, go to username, admin, and then just do, type in the password or copy and paste the password they gave me. Next thing you want to see is when you're logged in, go to plugins on the left-hand side of your, this is what WordPress 4.0 works, the most up-to-date version of WordPress. And you're going to click on plugins, and you're going to notice that there's going to be something called the marketplace here. Now you can keep that, it's completely up to you, but it is something they seem to install with these quick installs. And so it's something that you may want to consider just removing. It's basically a shopping ground for WordPress plugins and themes that you can log in there and actually check them out. So what I do is I just go into my plugins and I click on deactivate, super easy, and then it will actually remove this marketplace listing. It does not show live on your website, but it's just something that if you don't want to look at it in the back end or be distracted by it, you could actually just deactivate it. The next thing you want to do is go through the steps of getting your content created. We'll cover that next, but first we're going to take a quick detour here for those people that actually want to install their WordPress site manually. So we're going to go back here, and this is for people that want to install WordPress manually. So what you do is you go to wordpress.org. Again, that's wordpress.org. wordpress.org, and go ahead and click on download WordPress. Download WordPress. And then it's gonna, once you click on that, you're gonna see some options there to actually download the entire package. It's gonna do a zip file onto your computer. And what they've given you here now is a famous 5-minute installation. So you can actually click on a link in there and actually follow through this process that they give you. You can find YouTube videos on this subject as well. It's a very popular routine. It's something that you can easily follow. So you download and unzip the package that you received. You create a database inside your web host, and then you go through the on-screen instructions to install it manually. That's why the quick install is the preferred method. That's what I mainly wanted to show you in this training. But some people, they do want to do the 5-minute install, so I have the instructions pasted in here so you know how to go through them and what to do. And if you do get stuck on those, you could actually go in to YouTube, find a video, or follow through on the tutorials, because they do actually give you more information. Right down here, right below the 5-minute installation, they actually have detailed instructions, and they do a really good job explaining it, and it's kept up to date. So that's a good resource for you, provided by WordPress themselves. Here's what your WordPress dashboard will look like after installation, depending on which one you go with. Both of them are going to look the same, actually, because you're installing the same software. So here's the page that you're going to be looking at here. Next thing you want to do after setting up your site is it's time to install important WordPress plugins. So here are some important plugins. The Google XML Sitemap plugin is a really good one. The Yoast SEO plugin, that one is a tremendous plugin. It gives you really good search engine features, so you can have title tag and all that kind of information showing up for people, for your users. So the Yoast SEO plugin is phenomenal. iTheme Security is another popular plugin for actually securing your WordPress site to prevent hackers as much as possible. The Duplicator plugin is another good one, so that once you roll this site up with all the settings and everything, you could actually duplicate it if you had a server crash, or let's say you want to set up another site in another niche, you could use this plugin. You can also use the Simple Share Buttons adder. That's another plugin that you could find, or you could use one called the Dig plugin. So these are some of the top plugins that I would consider using. Again, Google XML Sitemaps, Yoast SEO, iTheme Security, the Duplicator plugin, the Simple Share Buttons adder. Another good one for social sharing buttons is Dig if you don't like the Simple Share Button adder. And you just can go to wordpress.org/plugins and you could find some other ones. But you could just do a simple search on wordpress.org/plugins, or you can do it straight from the back end of your WordPress site to actually install these as well. So you could do it straight from within the back end and just click on plugins, and then you can actually do a search for each of these plugins in the back end of your WordPress site, and it makes it very easy and seamless to just do an installation right there on the plugins that you choose. The next thing you want to do is pick a quality WordPress theme, or known as the design, what your site looks like, and you can go to wordpress.org/themes, or from the back end of your WordPress site, just go to Appearance and then click on Themes, and you can actually go through that process of finding a good quality theme that way. You could also do a Google search for the phrase free premium WordPress themes, or you could also search for best free themes of 2014 or 2015 or 2016, whichever year you're looking at this video. And then you could also, again, find the most up-to-date free themes. And the reason you want to search for premium WordPress themes, and put the word free in front of it is because you want to make sure you find the free themes that are out there that you're not going to have to pay for. Now, there are some really good themes that you could get if you go out to Woo Themes. That's a very popular one, which has some really good themes. Theme Forest is another big site as well that you could consider. So now that you have your website set up, it's time to go through the content creation part. So this is where you want to start creating your niche specific content. Content really is the lifeblood of your blog. So here are some ideas for creating effective blog content. Set a schedule for when you create this content. Maybe it's once per week on a Monday. Create content every Tuesday and Thursday. So every Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to create content. And it's really important that you get in a rhythm and a routine, because that's how your blog's going to grow. It doesn't mean you have to 100% stick to it, but you really want to be careful and try and do the best you can so you don't get off schedule, so that you're always having consistent, fresh, quality content out there. Now, there are some bloggers that they might only post a piece of content once every couple of weeks, but they make sure it's a really good piece of content. You could do that as well. You could also outsource your content creation. Go to a site like odesk.com. For the writing part, you could use a service called iWriter.com. It's a popular writing service. Freelancer.com, Fiverr.com, and then there's another popular one out there called freelancewritinggigs.com, freelancewritinggigs.com. You could Google that as well. But freelancer.com, iWriter, Fiverr, and Odesk are all great places to get content created. You want to make sure it's super high quality writing that is going to be, it's written in the language of whatever language your blog is going to be in, that it's super good quality blog content. Here's some ideas for creating effective blog content. So what you can see here is that lists do really well. So for example, the top 15 ways to lose weight in 2015. 8 WordPress plugins you can't live without. These 25 success tips will change your life. 10 romantic destinations for couples. Then you could also do things like curating content. So that's where you find great articles in your niche. You compile them together with links. So for example, 6 must-read articles on gaining muscle. So you could do a post called that, and then you could just find 6 really good articles about gaining muscle, and then you could actually share that out there. Find a really good video or videos in your niche market. Embed the video on your blog with your opinions. Add it to it. So take a good video, embed it on there, and say, this is what I felt about this. It could be, whatever the case is, you could give your opinion on it one way or the other. Don't be afraid about being controversial either, because that does sell and that gets people's attention. Supplement your content with links to sources that back up your point. And to best illustrate that, I have an article there from Yahoo Finance, actually. Yahoo's obviously a great content-rich site. And you can see that in almost every Yahoo story, they will actually reference other websites. So they might do a short little write-up or a blurb, but they're going to actually say, hey, link off to several different articles so that people can actually link and actually read that additional content related to it. Most of the time, it's found on other sources, and so they're just kind of curating that content together. Grantland.com, it's a big sports website. Yahoo.com articles do this. Grantland.com is kind of in partnership with ESPN, so it's absolutely huge. And they do this with their articles too. They write really big, high quality articles that are loaded with content and that people read and they stick around on their site. And so they're able to sell more ads. But the one thing they do really well is they link to other websites as well and other articles to kind of help supplement the content that they're creating. Write killer headlines for your post. So you want to leverage headline ideas for article directions. You understand article directions. So for example here, what you'll find is that a lot of times on major sites like CNN.com, Yahoo News, Yahoo itself, FoxNews.com, MSNBC, any of the big major websites like ABC News even, a lot of big high content websites, and you'll find this on many other sites, but you'll see this content where they'll say stuff like most popular videos, or you may also like, or like for example, more from CNN Money, and then also it'll say the biggest phrase is around the web, and so that means other stories that are happening around the web. Now what happens here, the reason these websites have this on there is because like CNN, they get paid whenever you click on that, just like Fox News, whichever site you're on, if you click on one of these interesting subject lines, they get paid. And the reason people are advertising here is because they want to get traffic to their website. And so they're writing up what's called like a information article, basically that's actually, they call it an advertorial. So it's like an editorial piece, but it's more like advertising or pre-selling people on something. And so, for example, advertising is dead. Say hello to content marketing. So that is actually a subject line that they're using. And so you could actually get ideas here because these sites like the Around the Web, that you may also like, the most popular videos, they have really good content, really good, I should say, really good headlines that draw your attention, that get your attention because they want to attract clicks as much as possible. So, for example, take the advertising is dead, and you could say golf training is dead. Say hello to the new methods. Dog grooming is dead. Say hello to the new methods. Traditional dog grooming is dead. Say hello to the new methods. 5 stunning stats about McDonald's. You see that in the right hand corner. 5 stunning stats about your weight loss plan. So those are ways that you could come up with article ideas that are going to get attention, get interest from people, and build up intrigue. You could also get ideas from yahoo.com story headlines. They do a great job from this. And get ideas from headlines found in the content ads on the major websites, as I pointed out, like CNN.com, for example. Yahoo Answers is another content creation idea. What problems and questions do people have in your niche? And then you could actually go out and solve those problems that they're having. Ezine articles is another great place to find good content that people are writing and creating content on. Industry forums. Engage with your audience in social media. Get involved in Facebook groups and pages. See what questions people have. See what kind of things are getting the most likes and the most shares. If you're a part of a Facebook group and you see a certain website or article link get shared around or get a whole bunch of shares and a whole bunch of comments, then you know that's the kind of content you should create as well. Interview experts in your niche market. Interviews do really well. You could do written interviews, and it's a win-win because it gains exposure for the person you're interviewing as well. Offer guest blogging opportunities to select people in your market. If you do that strategy, you may not want to advertise it because you're going to get all kinds of people that may want to take you up on it, and it's going to keep you busy. But you may want to find and highlight certain bloggers in your niche and say, hey, I see that you create high value content. I would like to partner with you and see if you would like to do a guest blog for me. You could quote big players in your industry. So people that are well-known authorities in your market, you could do a quote them on your site. Let them know on social media that you reference them in your post, like on Twitter or Facebook. You may get a retweet or a mention on Facebook if you do this. Here's some more blogging tips. Give away your best content. If you don't, someone else will. Some people might think, oh, I'm going to hold back and maybe save that for a product I create later, or I'm just going to do that later. You don't want to hold back because there's going to be another blogger that's going to share that as well. Build the respect of your audience. They're going to appreciate you, being consistently quality with your content. And being consistent is the next point we have here. Consistent with your quality, consistent with your post. And it does take time to achieve massive results with blogging. Provide great content and eventually you will get noticed. You will get noticed. It may take a few years before you see huge results, so don't give up because blogging is one of those things that can take time. And the biggest mistake people make with blogging is they quit too soon. Also, make sure you're building your email list from your blog. Have a call to action at the end of your blog to sign up to your email list. Give away a free ebook or valuable content if they sign up to your email list. Be yourself. That's extremely important. Your readers like to know who the real you is when they read your content. And then promote each blog post. You could do on main social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest. You could even do a press release if you have a really good content. Relevant social communities like within Facebook groups or Google+ groups. Find bloggers that create resources of content in your niche market and contact them and say, hey, I just created a really good resource. Would you mind linking to it? Social bookmarking sites like Reddit, those are really big sites. And so those are all ways that you can get additional attraction for your blog content. And blogging is a key part of your niche marketing strategy. Next, we're going to talk about free traffic methods.